Hello and welcome to another Netgen webinar. Nice to have you in nice number. We are now today talking about the next version 1.1 of Netgen Layouts. Before we start, just a couple of things to note. We have a recorded webinar from last time, a month ago, talking about Netgen Stack, so you definitely can check out that webinar. Netgen Stack uses layouts, so this might be interesting for you. Also, this webinar will also be recorded and shared later. And last thing, there is a Q&A feature, so you can always add a question to that, and I will answer it in the end of the webinar. Okay, so now let's start. And as always, it's nice to introduce myself. So my name is Ivo. I'm from Netgen. Just a second. Just a second, I have some issue. Okay. And I'm managing partner of Netgen. I also have a lot of experience in web. Recently, I'm talking a lot about Netgen layouts, like in this webinar, and I'm also one of the organizers of the summer camp. That's the quickest intro I can have about myself. And regarding the company, our recently coined motto is we help the web to be better for users and easier for the makers. We, and I presume you as well, are the makers, so this webinar is for you. Today's topics, I will of course talk about the new features of version 1.1 and also hopefully demo something. But also mention in the end about the open core model that we have for the product, and also about the commercial features of the product. So let's begin. For you who join us for the first time today, and also if you don't know much about layouts, this is our let's say a definition of layouts. That's how we see it. So it's a layout management framework and user interface, which primary role is to help the non-developers to do routine changes on the website without losing flexibility for building more complex features. And why we say that? Because there's a lot of frameworks and UIs for building websites which are super easy to use, but they are usually cloud-based. They have limited features, and it's very hard to extend them. And this is what we are trying to, let's say, solve this issue, is how to do a complex thing easier to use. Recently, also, I figure out one more expression, is that we are also trying to have less boring work for developers, so that non-developers do some things on their own. And you will see later in the demo how I do some of the things without touching code. Also, the market is moving in that respect as well. And when I was trying to figure out what layout is in the last couple of years, now I have some of the acronyms are popping up for layouts and also similar products. So it could be described as a head for headless. It could be described as a backend for frontend. It could be described as a content provider management system, but also a front-end management platform. So these are all acronyms I encountered in this year, basically. Maybe we will have one as a winner for next year. What layouts are also, it's a Symfony-based application. As I mentioned, we are building it for custom and complex projects. It's not just a page builder; it's also builds the whole website provides a conceptual UI and a preview, which I will show a bit later. It's also about integrating one or more content sources, or as we call them, backends. And just to show you the diagram, we have different content sources. Some of them are built on top of Symfony, like Easy or Cilius, but also external ones where content is coming from. And then we have us as site builders, the makers, who are structuring the layout and figure out what to show where. And then we also have chief editors, which we call the role, which is usually on the client side, who can do some of the things as well, without calling us even. And then that is rendered in a, let's say, in a traditional website way, or we can also render JSON, and then the page can be structured on the client side. Talking about versions, just quickly brief history of prior versions. We had the first tag version 07. Don't ask me why. It seemed like a good idea back then. Then we had the 013 version. After 07, you also had, of course, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. The 13 introduced the roles and policy management. And then we, before summer, we released version 1, which was more or less a big cleanup. And now we are introducing the version 1.1, which will be tagged, I really hope, this week. So the new features of version 1.1. So the big thing is the preview, and you will soon see this feature. That was the biggest effort to do. It was not a simple thing to do, as you will see, but I think it's very, very good feature, especially for maintaining the project. It's maybe not super necessary for building it, but once you are in production, it comes really, really handy to have it. Then we have numerous small improvements, more or less all of them from the feedback we had from using the product. And the last thing, which is worth mentioning, is that with the version 1.1, we support PHP 7.4, we support Symfony 5, and we also support Easy Platform 3, which is also soon to be released. Okay, so enough of slides. Let's try to show something. So let me try to switch the screen. Just a second. So hopefully you see my browser now. So this, what you see is our usual demo site that we are showing. Example of a small portal. It's of course based on Easy Platform and all of our stack, and including layouts. So I have now a task to do. So if I go to the healthy eating category, what I want to do here is show a message saying Merry Christmas, but be careful with the calories. So if I go to the backend, this is our backend. If you are not aware of this, this is a Netgen stack with the Easy Platform and also the administration interface that we maintain as well. And it's integrated, it has layouts integrated. So one integration point is here showing what are layouts related to the homepage. And for example, for the healthy eating category, we see that there is a healthy eating layout related. What I want to do now is I actually want to create a temporarily duplicate layout for this page. So if I go to the main part of the layouts, which is this screen, and if I choose layouts, I will see all the layouts of the demo site. I see also this healthy eating layout. What I will do now is I will duplicate it, and I will tag it with for Christmas, and I have it now. So let's open it. Now we are entering this conceptual user interface of layouts, which looks like this. It has some of the blocks that is shown on the healthy eating. It shows related videos, recipes, etc., etc. So what I will do now is I want to make a ribbon, which I will do by adding a column. I want to put it in the post header zone, and I want to make it black. This is, of course, it's not an HTML builder or something. This is all prepared. You need to have some of the components that you want to build with. You need to have them prepared. So what I have is a column, container block, and I also have this option to set it in certain colors, which is defined in the design system that we have, or that we defined. So I want to make it a black ribbon, and then I will add a title, which is all, this is all simple work, which we do every day in layouts. And then I will have a message, Happy Christmas, but watch out, or maybe better, but beware of calories you input in yourself. Okay, so I made this change. Okay, now we will preview it. We have a new feature on left top to switch to the preview mode. And now you see this message. It does look a bit too much. I'm not really super happy. So let's go back. What I will do is I will just change the title. The heading level. So I will switch it to heading 2. And I will also make a bit of vertical space, a bit of top and bottom small space. Okay. So if we check now the preview, how will it look? Okay, looks a bit better. What I will also can do is I can check how this looks on iPad. I can also check how it looks on iPhone X, for example. Also rotate a bit. So this is just, it's not a super safe test, because this is still a website. You might want to check it on a real device, but it really helps. Okay, well, one note, because this is a category layout, there is no, let's say, context. Basically, the category itself doesn't have much, the content itself. So the layout has everything. So I'm actually previewing this without any special URL. I will show you later another use case. So let's publish this layout, because we are happy how it looks. So let's now make it happen, because now we created a layout, but if we go to the front page, nothing happened because we didn't map it to the URL. So let's go to the mappings. The new feature that is good and interesting is the duplicate mapping feature. So I will now duplicate the mapping for this healthy eating. I duplicated the existing healthy eating mapping. What I need to do is I need to link it to the new layout, which is the Christmas healthy eating. Okay. I need to save this. So now I have it here, but it's still not. It's still not active because of two reasons. First of all, I need to put it before the original one, because these mappings are priority list. So again, this is a new feature. I can not just rearrange by drag and dropping. I can also actually put it with a number. This is, of course, not super interesting when you have 10 mappings, but when you have 100 mappings, it helps. and saving the order. And then what I also need to do, because this mapping is created inactive, I need to activate the mapping. So let's see if it will show up. Not yet. There is one reason why not, because we are using the varnish cache, so we need to clear the caches of that page. And now we see the ribbon. One other thing that was introduced in the previous version is the time-based condition. So I want to automate this a bit. So what I will do is I will condition this new mapping based on time. So I will say, let's show this message between 23rd and 26th, and save this condition. Okay. So let's see if something will change. Of course not, because we need to clear the cache. One important note regarding this, let's see first, I think we need to also clear this other cache too. One important note is that usually Easy Platform has a page view cache set to 2 hours. So all these changes in, for example, when the time comes, the change will happen depending on the TTL of the cache of that page. So the last, wait a second. I'm not sure if I clicked it, but I think I did. Let's see one more time. Still not happening. Something is fishy here, but let me see. Interesting. Of course, demos should always have some issue. Okay, we'll need to check this again. Maybe it just needs a bit of time. Let's get back to that later. Okay, so this was just to showing off the new features. One more new feature is that I can comment on mappings right now. So what I can do is safely remove after 27th. Okay, save the mappings, and now I see the comment, and I'm pretty sure that after 27 I can remove the mapping and also the duplicate. Okay, so that was the first task. Let's check out the second task. What I want to do is I have this page or layout for an article, and I have a right column here which is showing top news, but I know from before these are just manual picked items. So what I want to do is I want to do something else. So first of all, I know that the right column is used from the shared layout. So I have here shared parts of the layouts which are used in or other layouts. So one new feature is that now you can list where is this used. So I can see that this right column is actually used in the right zone of the article layout. So if I click here, I can go and edit this, let's say, part of the page. What I want to do is I first want to duplicate this. One reason is I want to just save it for maybe coming back to that later, and I can do one more new feature, which is just hide a block. So this is a relatively new feature. So this now a block is hidden, and just saving it for later. What I want to do here is I want to make a different query. So I will call this a popular fitness articles. You can see here that I have only manual items. So what I want to do is I will remove all manual ones. And I will introduce, this is not a new core feature, but it's still a new feature. What we built for some projects is the Google Analytics query for easy. And this is a separate bundle that can be installed, and we still didn't push it to GitHub, but we will do it soon. So this is just checking with Google Analytics what are the most popular items, and then showing the easy items, like items, the easy content like items. So first of all, I want to just focus on the fitness category. What I also need to do is I want to just filter articles and blog posts. This is coming from the configuration, so this is our Google Analytics view ID. What I also need to do is at least give it some time span. So this is purely Google Analytics format of the filter. 30 days ago, okay, to today, for example, and only 3 items. And now I will have, these are basically 3 items that are most viewed on this demo site. One of the new features as well is just showing, it's a super simple feature, but it's still useful. In the block item view of this concept view, you can see here what kind of item it is, and also additional information. In the case of easy location, we also show the content type, so you can see blog posts, articles, etc. This is useful when you have multiple backends or multiple content sources, so that you can see where is item from. Okay, so the one of the last things that I will show you is, now what I wanted to do is I want to have a different template used for, let's say, the first item. As you can see from the design tab, you see that we are using the list item view type, which is basically just a twig template for list item. What I will do now, I will go and say for this first slot, override the slot view type. Here it says it's a list item, but I will show only, for the first one only, I will show a list item with intro, and I will save this. So this is now saved only for the first slot. Of course, if we speak about manual items, we can also not just override the slot, meaning position, but we also can override this view type only for the item, not depending on what is the position of the manual item. I will not do this here because it's hidden anyway. So now we will publish this. And because the component by itself, the preview doesn't make sense, what I will do now, I will open the article layout, which is using this zone. And you can see here, I actually see these shared zones. And now I will preview this to see how this looks like. We'll use the desktop to see a bit more. And now I will see that I have a popular fitness articles, and then I see that the first item is using the intro line item view type. Okay, what we can also see here in the preview, just to wrap up the demo, we actually tried to figure out what is the best URL to preview for that layout. So, for example, for the healthy category, health eating category, this would be simple because it's just a one-to-one mapping. But for the article is a bit more challenging. So what we basically do is we offer 5 most recently changed URLs that make sense for this layout. And in this case, it's this article. What you can also see here is the recently used. So just if you changed or used something else, you can also select that one. What you can also do is just copy and paste directly the URL, or the last thing is just use the browser. So let's go and find let's say, the Dirty Dozen, and then I'm previewing this this layout with this content. Okay, we were just previewing, so I will not save anything here. I don't need to, and that was it. If we go to the page, restart the page, which we were seeing it on the side, you will see we changed the right column, and we still, for some reason, let's try one more time. Let's see. Clear layout caches should work. Yeah, now it works. Okay. Okay, so let's go back to the just a second to the presentation. Okay, so let's wrap this up. So just a recap regarding the features. We have the biggest one, the preview mode that you saw, and then we have several of these smaller ones. One which I didn't show, but basically I couldn't show it, is that we previously, in previous versions, we didn't connect the publishing of the layout with cache clearing. It was always disabled. You always needed to clear cache. But what we did now is that once you publish the layout, the related caching in Varnish is cleared, and this can be disabled, especially on very high traffic sites, which usually it's a bit dangerous to clear the layout caches. Okay, so that was regarding the version 1.1. Now quickly, just to explain the model behind the product, the open core model, so what it is about. We have the biggest part of the product, which you saw is open source, MIT licensed. You can use it freely. And then open core model also has or incorporates the commercial features and support, which is available. The support, of course, for the open source version is we have the community, GitHub, Slack, and other channels. The commercial version provides the support subscription for the whole product. While you are paying the support subscription, you have access to new version, and you can, let's say, connect with our support. You are probably asking, what are the commercial features? So when we were deciding what parts of the product will be commercial and what not, the main driver was, how do we define what features are really useful for bigger projects but not necessary for smaller projects? So the question is, or the answers to that question would be projects that have more people, more different roles, projects with high traffic, maybe projects with more languages on the site, and maybe projects that require a lot of changes, maintenance, and maybe even some automation. So these are the answers. So the commercial feature is roles and policy management. In this open source version, you have two hard-coded roles, admin and editor, and in the commercial version, you can really fine-grain that roles. For high traffic sites, we have the block level caching, so that you can define each block as an ESI block and validate it with some custom TTL. There's a lot of these additional features that just help out when you have a lot of changes. First of all, the preview, also changing of layout type. I didn't show that one, but it's also useful. Also restoring from a last version of layout and hiding a block. These are all convenience features. And automation. So in the open source version, what you saw today, the Christmas time frame, this is in the open source version. So how do you time frame the layout? In the commercial version, you can time frame each block item. So you can, for a block item, you can specify the time frame when will it show. And finally, there is a translating layout module in the commercial version. Of course, you can use the translation features of the CMS or of the backend or even Symfony typical translation features to translate the layout. But in some cases, the translation module of layout is useful because it enables you also to define different parameters for blocks based on the language. So for example, you can create a block showing different products based on a different language. That might be useful. And that were the commercial features. So I'm more or less, I wrapped everything that I wanted in 30 minutes. Let me open the, let me see. Okay. The question was about, you said 23rd. Yes, I deliberately said 23rd, so we don't see the message right now, but after the 23rd. That was a question from Antoine. Okay, any additional questions? Use the Q&A module of Zoom. Okay, seems there is no questions, so I was super clear, and I'm happy with that. Last thing, if you don't have a demo right now or a dedicated demo for you, just let me know and I can create it. And also just check out our page and let me know if you need any more clarification. Okay, thank you for listening and joining in. We will record the webinar and put the recording on YouTube and share it for you this week. One more time, thank you for joining, and see you. Bye-bye.